Okay, so before I get into any of the ranting that you guys are about to witness, I need to just kind of get this out of the way before anything starts. I do not hate this chapter. I really don't hate this chapter as a whole. I actually, if anything, I fucking love I love this chapter. I love the aesthetic. I love the perks. I love the killer and survivor. I love all of them in their own respective ways. But there's just some things about them, the killer specifically, that I just need to rant about in this because I can't just I know that other people have already made videos, but I need to get this out of the way because it's just I really want to have more fun with this guy, but I just gotta get this out there. So yeah, I just want to say that before anything starts, and yeah, so. What is up, guys? It's Messi here, welcome back to another video, and today we are back with another little review video, except this time I'm specifically going to be talking about the Dead by Daylight chapter that released, being the all-kill chapter, which includes a new killer known as the Trickster, and a new survivor known as, I don't even know how to say her name. I'm not even going to try to say her name. I'll put it on screen so you guys can see it, but yeah, they came out with those two, and you know, I've been playing this chapter for the past couple days, and it's honestly pretty well good. Like, it's all fun. I love the aesthetic. I love everything. But I'm specifically in this video going to be talking about the killer because he just needs some. I just need to talk about him. Now, see, when I first played this chapter on the PTB, my initial reaction was the following. And, you know, I thought it was actually a pretty good fucking chapter. I thought it was pretty fucking sick. I love the idea of a killer that just fucking chucks knives at you constantly. I fucking loved his aesthetic. I love his whole, like, backstory thing. It was all fucking cool. The only thing is that they just had to change a couple things about his power, maybe change a couple perks around, and, then honestly he would probably become a really good killer for the game. But then finally 3 days ago, as of recording this, he has come out, and you know, how did he do? How did he change? He didn't fucking change at all. He honestly didn't change like that much. He really did not have that much done to him. They kind of just threw the same version of him in the PTB, from the PTB, except it changed a little couple things about his power. But we'll get into that a little bit. And it's honestly just disappointing, honestly, because I really expected more to be done with him. Now, how his power works, long story short, you get a certain amount of knives, throw the knives to survivors at pretty fast speeds, build up their bar until their bar gets to max, and then they get injured. But like, the main issue with it, the main issue I have with it is that when it comes to being at loops, this killer does not do well with throwing knives at people. Because if you're gonna make a good DVD killer, you need to make sure that this killer can deal with loops while also being able to use their ability at loops. That's why killers like Deathslinger, Huntress, like a lot of killers, that's why a lot of them are really good. Because at loops, you can counter those loops with their ability. But with this killer, you can't really do anything. Your knives are so small, and like, you know, you need to be so precise. You can't really get people at loops with them unless you back rev them and just keep fucking chucking. And even then, the survivor's probably just gonna start dodging like crazy until you eventually just run out, or you just decide to go for the M1. Like, you can literally see in this clip right here, I'm trying to use my knives on this build, but like, no matter how hard I'm trying, I just physically cannot do it. But that's just his main ability. Now, he does have a special ability known as his main event, which basically what his main event is he basically chucks knives the same way that he normally does, but he chucks them at basically lightning fast speeds. So basically, kind of take Legion's ability, where at least his old one, where you can constantly stab, and just have it as fucking throwing knives, and basically that's what his main event is. Now with the special ability main event, I've gotten it to function. But that's about all I was able to do with it, because it's honestly just not even that strong compared to his main ability. But honestly, compared to his PTB version, compared to the live version, in my opinion, PTB version was better. And, you know, I will get into that in a bit, but yeah, honestly, his PTB version was honestly just better than his new version, honestly. Okay, so to stop myself from ranting a little bit too much, I'm going to switch over and stop talking about his power for right now, but for now I'm going to start talking about his perks. Now the Trickster himself comes with 3 unique perks, being Starstruck, Hex Crowd Control, and No Way Out. Basically, long story short, Starstruck, whenever you're carrying a survivor, any survivor in your terror radius is exposed. So basically, if someone tries to take a hit while you have someone on your shoulder, you can instant heal them with 1 hit. Next, Hex Crowd Control. Survivors who perform a rushed action through a window will cause the entity to block it for up to 14 seconds at max level. And finally, No Way Out. Each survivor that you manage to hook, you will gain 1 token, and whenever the last generator is finished, the exit gates will be blocked for 10 seconds, but can add an additional up to 8 seconds with every token, which basically makes it up to 18 seconds at max. Now, compared to most perks that you'll see on killers nowadays, these 3 perks themselves are actually surprisingly good perks. Like, my personal favorite being the one where the window gets blocked whenever somebody vaults it, because it's probably one of the few things that you can use on Trickster to counter loops, so that way people don't just vault windows in your face like 24/7 and basically keep you on them for all 5 gens. But other than that, yeah, every other perk on him is honestly fairly good for countering most things in the game. So now I'm just gonna get back to talking about his power. So, his main event, special event, whatever the hell it's called. Let's look at the PTB version, alright? You didn't throw nearly as fast, which I will say, the new version where you throw 10 times faster is a buff. I will give them credit for that. But here's my main issue with his main event. Compared to the PTB, you cannot control when you throw your knives in the main event. Compared to the PTB, where you would always have it out, but you could throw it whenever you needed to. In this version, in the live version, he just throws them automatically the second the ability starts. And that's honestly, I mean, for most people it's probably good if there's a group of survivors, but for me, it's honestly super annoying in chases, because I want to, you know, I want to throw it at individual times. So if it's just going automatically, not only am I still dealing with the slowdown of my movement, but I can't control it otherwise. And I mean, the only other technically buff that they gave to his main event is the fact that you can cancel it whenever you're in the middle of using it, which is nice, because that way you don't have to wait for it to end. You can just pick them up instantly. But another issue with it, and I'm pretty sure it's a bug right now, but I'm still gonna rant about it because it's kind of annoying. It's kind of like Oni's launching into his Blood Fury, where you have to hold it, you have to hold the key to stop it for a certain amount of time, and sometimes it doesn't even feel like you're holding it down long enough. Sometimes it feels like you're not even like holding it to end it, and he just kind of ends it whenever and it feels like he just kind of ends it whenever. And yeah, and it's still the same where, you know, whenever you get stunned, you still have to, you know, wait for your cooldown before you can use your knives again. And yeah, those are like literally the only changes they've done to his actual ability. And you know, one other little thing about the Trickster that I want to give before I kind of end this is about just the sound, his voice and stuff like that. His voice is awesome. I fucking love it. I love his voice actor. I don't know who it is, but the guy that does the sounds and stuff for Trickster, I fucking love it. It's so fucking cool. But if there's one issue I have about it, is that like he literally makes so much sound in the middle of chases. In chases, you'll hear him fucking like giggling, you'll hear him fucking laughing, you'll hear him just making random ass sounds while you're in chases. And if you're like me and you want to try and listen as much as possible for survivors, if you're hearing this man laughing over and over while also hearing the chase music play, it's kind of hard to listen to where people are. And you know, if in the next update, if they do change the Trickster, I'm hoping what they do is at least make it so he doesn't make as much sound when he's in a chase, and it's all kind of like either before the chase starts or after the chase ends, because it's kind of annoying to be chasing somebody and not hear where they are because you're just hearing this man giggling and laughing and, you know, going over a whole bunch of other stuff. Now finally, before I end this off, I kind of just want to give my final thoughts on what I think of the Trickster, how do I think he is at his current state, and do I think he needs a buff. Now let me just give a rating out of 10 real fast. I'm going to, sadly, I'm probably just going to give him a 4 out of 10, because I am honestly just fairly disappointed with the way they made this killer in terms of his power. Because I love him, I love his aesthetic, I love his style, but his power is just not good. Like he's not terrible, his power's not terrible, but it's like, I kind of see it the way as like the twins, where it's like their power's not the worst, but like there's not a lot of situations where it's like, there's not a lot of moments where I'm thinking, oh, I want to play this killer for their power. Like, I want to play the Trickster, but I'm not going to play him just for his ability. I want to play him because he's fucking cool. And I'm just fairly disappointed in him. I really wish that he got a bit more time worked on him. I wish they reworked his power a bit more to bring him up to his full abilities, because at his current state, he's just not good in the modern day of Dead by Daylight. Like, maybe if it was if Trickster came out like a couple years ago, back in like when DVD was a lot simpler, he would probably be one of the strongest killers in the game right now. But at the current state of how like good and stuff people are, and how like people are understanding loops and stuff, he's just not that good. And honestly, I do think he deserves a buff for at least the time being, which I'm hoping they do by the next patch update, which will come out whenever. I just want to thank everybody that's still here for watching this video. I just felt like I really had to make this video just to kind of give my thoughts on the Trickster, because I was just so excited for him, and playing him now, like, I still love him. Again, like I said at the start of the video, I still love him. I still love the Trickster, still love his abilities, I love all of it. I'm just fairly disappointed with this chapter, and, you know, I kind of wish that they took a bit more time on him, but, you know, the next patch update, hopefully things will get fixed. And, yeah, I thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you're new, and I will leave you guys with a clip of how I would describe my games as Trickster in just a couple seconds, and, yeah, thanks for watching.